this kind of works. Alright. So yeah, I finally got a dashboard thing for my phone, and yeah, I can turn it sideways so I can record video. I'm gonna stop and see if I'm doing okay with sound syncing up. Hey there, Skeleton Key here. Welcome back to my channel, and this is my last little bit for my very first Mysterious Mayhem Readathon. I did finish The Doctor's Blackwell by Janice P. Nimura, and so this is going to go back to the library. It is overdue at the library, so I gotta get that back. That had the little vertebrae. I don't know if you can see it up close. Yeah, you can see kind of the clavicle maybe. But that had some skeleton bits on the cover. So that is my skeleton prompt book. Now on to my key book. Oh, don't tell me I forgot it. No. Oh, here it is. Alright, good. Or else I was going to be stuck in a cafe for like 2 hours with nothing to read. So, yes, my key book is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I know it's sort of a riff on The Turn of the Screw by, I think, what was that? That was Henry James, I believe. So far, it's a far better story. I've read that one, and it was intriguing, and it was nice and spooky, but it did not hold together well. So I'm hoping this holds together better. This is my first Ruth Ware book, and so far it's definitely got all the creepy vibes going. But I think I mentioned that I set it aside so that I could reread a Ray Bradbury story called The Veldt. It probably appears multiple places, but it's I think it was originally in a short story collection called The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. All the stories in it were by Ray Bradbury, it's a really interesting collection. So, yeah, you should read that. I'm still not sure that it influenced this book, but I keep seeing things in this book that I think might be allusions to that book, to that story. But yeah, we're getting down to the wire, and I'm almost halfway through The Turn of the Key now, so we'll see if I can get this finished and at least get started on OONA Out of Order. So this, if I get this finished, I'll probably count it as my mystery book too. And then OONA Out of Order will be my chaos book, my mayhem book. But it is, I'm sure I won't get both of these finished today. But I want to at least get started on OONA Out of Order. But I am off to Panera or Dazbog, I haven't decided yet. Gotta drop bunch of books off at the library here. Then I've got a couple hours to kill before book club, so coffee shop it is. You know you're in Colorado when the shoe store has fake rock terrain for testing the shoes. So I did finish The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and this is for the key prompt, and it may have been after midnight when I finished it, but I'm still going to count it. And so this also does count for the mystery prompt, because there's definitely a mystery as to why does this house seem to be haunted. I mean, there are multiple mysteries actually in this. I really enjoyed this. I'm not crazy about the ending. I didn't feel it was terribly satisfying. It felt kind of rushed. It felt a little forced, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't quite what I would have liked. And I'm not gonna say what I didn't really like about it because that would be really super spoilery. I will say that there really wasn't a whole lot of Velt content. It did, if you're familiar with, okay there, all right, gotta be careful with the rum, dude. All right. If you are familiar with The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, it does, it is very clearly built on that frame of a story. I think this holds together way better than that story. I wasn't impressed with The Turn of the Screw. So there are a lot of callbacks to that in The Turn of the Key. I was a little disappointed. I was rather expecting there to be some Velt-like allusions or references. And beyond the fact that, yeah, it was a smart house and that the kids that this nanny is taking care of are pretty dang creepy in and of themselves. And I don't know if I should have expected that. I was just like, ooh, smart house, creepy kids. But anyway, it's the in case you're not familiar with the premise, it's this nanny takes this job in a remote part of Scotland, and she has 4 children that she's supposed to take care of, and it's a very wealthy couple, and they live in this old house that they refurbished. They're both architects, and so they redesigned it all fancy with all these fancy security features and communications panels, and yeah, it's a smart house. But as soon as she turns up to start her job as nanny, they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, we have to leave the country for like 2 weeks, so you're on your own. And she's not crazy about that. And she's already indicated that she has some secrets of her own, that she is not blameless, but this is an epistolary book, and the conceit here is that we are reading this letter that she is writing, trying to get and I never can remember the terminology, solicitor, barrister, I forget. Anyway, a lawyer. She's trying to get this lawyer to take her case and defend her against a murder charge, because apparently one of these children, and this is all flashback, but one of these children in her charge was killed, and she's being charged with murder. And so we are reading her letter to him, and it's more than one letter, but okay, so that's my big complaint about the book, and that this is not a spoiler. There are some other letters at the end, and the book opens with a few false starts of letters that she gives up on. But the main body of the book, hundreds of pages, is supposedly one letter. And the ending does kind of explain why there's one letter that's several hundred pages long. I'm not really satisfied with it, though. This is a 4.5 star book for me, but I will, for Goodreads, I'll probably round down to 4, because there were just enough little things that kind of bugged me that I just wasn't happy about. Yeah, so I'll round down. But yeah, this was atmosphere, really great atmosphere. Yeah, this was a fun read. So just kind of to recap, my skeleton book was The Doctor's Blackwell. And once I get my BookTube Prize quarterfinals video up, I will link that in the description below. And then my key book and my mystery book were this. And I did not get started on OONA out of order. I'm really disappointed that I did not get to do that. I've been really looking forward to this. Didn't manage it. So I hope I will get a chance to read this soon. But this was my MAYhem book that I didn't get to. But I went in not knowing how well I would do at this. This is my first ever attempt at running my own readathon. And I hope those of you who have joined in, I hope you had fun. And yeah, I guess it's time to start thinking about next year. So let me know in the comments below how your mysterious MAYhem readathon went. And yeah, anything you'd like to share about the books you read or the puzzles you solved. Oh, I think I forgot to mention in my wrap up that, yeah, I did finish that crossword puzzle. So that was that. In the meantime, please like and subscribe, and see you around.